This is the best mesh I've ever felt. I feel like this is something I could have found at like Walmart, and I have to say, I really like them. This fabric is nothing like lines. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. And today we are trying Aerie activewear. This is from their new offline collection. I've actually never tried Aerie activewear, but I've gotten a ton of DMs asking me to review it because I just launched this collection. I've heard from a couple of people that these are like their holy grail leggings, so obviously I have to try it. By the way, if you're new here, my name is Kathryn. We do a lot of brutally honest reviews, affordable activewear, lots of good stuff. So if you're new, subscribe for more. So I got a ton of stuff and most of it was like randomly on sale. I don't know why it was on sale because it like just launched. Like usually it happens like after, but I'm not used to shopping Aerie. And I just looked yesterday, which is about like a week after I purchased this stuff, and it's still on sale. So I'm just gonna tell you the sale prices I bought this for because it's all pretty affordable, especially on sale. And I think they often have sales and coupons available, so you shouldn't need to purchase any of this like full price. Also, I did purchase all of this myself and it is unsponsored. And I couldn't really decide what to get, so I really just got a little bit of everything and it was all like under $35, so it's pretty affordable in my book. I got each one of their signature fabrics. I got the OG, the Realme, and the Goals. And tons of cute stuff like some cross waist leggings, some no front seam leggings, some bike shorts, a little bit of everything. Also, I'm sitting today because I just had a big lunch and I'm really tired now and I shouldn't have done that before filming. So this is the offline collection and I read a little bit about the collection just because I like to educate myself before I do my reviews. They're really emphasizing that this is an activewear collection that's meant for real life and real activity, and they really highlight that, and I'm just like, as opposed to fake activity, sometimes I think the way that brands describe their collections is like a little bit cheesy. Like, I don't think anyone's meaning to put activewear out that like isn't meant to work out in. But we've all come across those leggings that just do not hold up in your workouts. So maybe that's what they mean. So the name of the collection is the offline collection. And instead of an eye, they have like one of those backslashes. So it's actually like slanted. And they said, and I quote, "Even the slant of the eye in our name is a reminder that there's no straight path to the finish line. Is anyone gonna tell them this is still a straight line?" So I've always liked Aerie. Even though I haven't shopped a lot of Aerie stuff, I've always liked the brand because they're really inclusive with their models in terms of ethnicity and different sizes. So I feel like everyone shopping on the Aerie website feels included. And they've also always been really transparent about not retouching their photos, which I also think is very important. And they've been doing that for years now. And something I didn't know about Aerie, which also carries over into the offline collection, is it's actually sustainably sourced. So a lot of their products are made from recycled fabrics, and it's manufactured in a facility that is very water conscious. I'm not really sure what that means, but they're trying to reduce water usage. So this actually makes Aerie one of the more affordable, sustainable brands I've found. I'm actually doing a review on sustainable activewear coming up, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it. But those are kind of expensive. I actually didn't know Aerie was focusing on sustainability, so I do think that's really cool as well. Lots of bonuses so far. And they also have a pretty good size range. They have extra, extra small to extra, extra large. And for the leggings, they also have short and tall versions. So very inclusive. So without further ado, let's start talking about the pieces. So first I have the offline Realme crossover leggings, and these are the first ones that I really saw a lot of people talking about them. I think they were launched like before this new collection. I got these for $31, which is a really good price. And it's this animal print, which for me, like, it's not my favorite of the animal prints, but it is still cute. I just like don't know if I look at this and really like say like, oh, that's like a leopard, you know? This is the color Raw Sienna, and I got these in a size small. They are 7/8 length. They also come in tall, but those were sold out, so I just got like the regular smalls. And I heard a lot of people say that these were just like Aligns, and I'm already gonna tell you this fabric is nothing like Aligns. So yet again, people lie about things being Lululemon dupes. What else is new? So this is their Realme fabric, which is supposed to be very lightweight, which I do agree, it does feel very lightweight and stretchy. It's also supposed to have light support, which I also see. I guess that's why people compared them to the Aligns, but the fabric itself does not have that same brush feeling. If anything, it's like slightly slick. They have a cross front waistband, which I always find really flattering, so I am excited about that. And they also don't have a top seam, and oh my gosh, yeah, this is really stretchy. And this fabric is a nylon elastane blend. The waistband looks slightly tapered. They look really small, but I trust that they have a lot of stretch to them. And these do have a front seam, so I hope that's okay. And they do have like just a small little gusset crotch. Here's a close-up of the fabric. As you can see, it's not brushed like a Lululemon Align is, so that's why I said that it's really not comparable to the Nulu fabric. These were originally $45, but they are on sale. All right, so here are the Realme cross waist leggings. And I have to say, I really like them. So I was thinking about how I would compare this fabric because I feel like it has the weightlessness of an Align, but it doesn't have the brushness. So I feel like it's if the Lululemon Aligns and the Gymshark Lightweight Seamless had a baby and made these. Like they almost have a little bit more brush than the lightweight seamless. I love this cross waist. I think that more legging brands need to do it because I just feel like it's so cute. Like, yes, you get to come up and like, you know, hide a little muffin top area, make you feel a little more comfortable. Not that there's anything wrong with any part of your body, but sometimes it just feels. So these have a super light compression, so they do feel very weightless. Shouldn't get a lot of pilling because there isn't any brushedness. You also shouldn't get a lot of cat fur, lint collecting on it. The waist doesn't really have a lot of compression either, so if you're looking for a really high compression legging, these aren't it. So at first I thought that these were going to be a little small, but they actually have a lot of stretch to them. I'm in a size small, and I would say definitely true to size. I think if you're in between, you could probably size down because I feel like no area is too tight. I also don't have any loose fabric, like it all is fitting really well and doesn't look awkward. And it has this front seam, but it's like not invasive at all. Like I literally don't even feel it. And I pulled these up and it did not cause any problems. So you're safe with camel for these. So not a ton of detail on these. It's literally just the waistband, the little cross waist detail. It is more of like a wrap waist. It doesn't come down to a V. It's like actually two pieces of fabric like crossed over. And the waistband seams actually go above the glutes a little bit. I would give these a solid medium to high, maybe even high on the booty scale. I feel like it's actually doing some good things. Hey, you came to visit us yet again, my love. All right, you trying to play? Trying to play fetch? Go get your toy. This is a pattern fabric, so cellulite coverage is not a problem on these. But for the solid colors, I feel like you will get some cellulite showing, so I wouldn't really consider these cellulite friendly. They actually feel slightly sweat wicking though. I'm not sure about sweat proof. And these are just the regular size small. I didn't get the longs, and they are a true 7/8 length. So I do have a size small long coming up, or tall, whatever it is, so we can compare that. My only thing with these is that I do feel like they're so slick that they actually might kind of slide down. I'm just gonna do a little walk around my apartment and we're gonna see. Okay, I'm back, and they actually didn't really slide down. There might be a little risk for sliding down in your workout, so I wouldn't be surprised, but it was okay just for like a little walk. All right, guys, we're getting a little gym test in. These are the Realme cross waist leggings that I decided to keep because I like them. So now I'm gonna see how they hold up in the gym, and I really hope they don't slide down because they're so cute. Okay, so I thought that these would slide down, but they honestly really didn't slide down any worse like any other pair of legging. I did like, you know, pull them up a little bit, but I always just kind of like adjust my waistband at the gym. It's just like kind of like a habit, I guess. But yeah, they were super lightweight. I didn't feel hot at all, even though it was like 90 degrees outside. And they just were really comfortable and really stretchy, didn't restrict me. You can't see any sweat probably because of the pattern. And I don't know if they just didn't slide down because I was like really sweaty and the sweat was kind of making them like stick to me, but either way, these are workout approved. I'm trying to be better about including these guys in my videos. Pinta's just sitting with me filming, but you can't see him. And then I got the offline Realme high-waisted mesh leggings, which also feel super lightweight. Like these actually feel even nicer than the last ones. I'm kind of impressed. So I got these for around $35, and I wanted a solid color because sometimes I feel like it's hard to judge a patterned legging sometimes. I don't know, you can't see like all the details in terms of like cellulite and all that stuff. And we like our reviews here to be comprehensive. So I just got these in a size small, and they're also a 7/8 length. This legging in particular comes in a lot of like earthy fall tones, so definitely good for the upcoming season change. And this mesh is like so soft. Usually mesh is like kind of scratchy, but I keep feeling it and I'm like, what is this mesh? So this is still the same Realme fabric, except I will say this one does feel slightly more buttery, but it's still not brushed. So I feel like you'll get less pilling than a super brushed legging, which is a benefit, but it's still like super lightweight, and these are incredibly stretchy. And it has a little mesh panel detail along the bottom, which is very unique mesh. And they have a V-shaped waistband in the front, which comes down to give you extra lower tummy controls. So I think that these have a lot of really cool details, so I'm interested to see how they'll be on, but let's check out the fabric. So here's the fabric, and as you can see, it just kind of looks buttery soft, but it's not quite as brushed, but it is super, super soft and super stretchy, so I am impressed. And the top material is the mesh, and I've just like never seen a mesh that's like this finely knit. Usually, I don't know, you can kind of see the holes of the mesh, but this one doesn't really look like a mesh, but then it's like clearly see-through. Very interesting. Here are the Realme mesh leggings, and these are just seriously like so lightweight, so thin. I would say that these would be a really good summer legging because they're not hot like at all. I definitely feel like I would stay pretty cool in these. They almost feel thinner than a Lines, like light support, light compression. These are very similar to the first one, so I'm just gonna kind of touch on the differences. They do have this V-shaped waistband, which I feel like is a good idea in theory, but this waistband has very minimal compression at all. So you're really actually not getting a lot of lower tummy control because there isn't any compression to actually like control it. So it's a good idea in theory. Perhaps it's flattering, but it's not actually giving me any lower tummy control. Seamless waistband, it's not gonna cut into your waist. It feels super buttery soft, so soft. The only thing is these leggings are so thin, and the fact that this is just like a solid color, I definitely feel like there's more opportunity for, you know, camel, maybe like just seeing a little too much that you don't want to put on display. I'm just gonna say that. The back is super flattering. I feel like these seams could be a little bit higher up, but if I pull them up back here, we get some issues in the front, so I'm not gonna do that really. But I'd still give them a solid medium to high on the booty scale. Like I said before, really no cellulite coverage. This mesh is seriously amazing. Like, this is the best mesh I've ever felt. I'm freaking obsessed with the mesh. And these ones, although they're 7/8, they actually feel a little bit longer than the first ones. I don't know why. Definitely true to size down if in between. So yeah, I really like them. I feel like they are just almost even a tad bit too thin for me. So I am not gonna keep them for that reason. But I still think they're really nice and they feel really great. Then to match those leggings, I got the offline Realme strappy back sports bra. This was only $25. I also got this in a size small, which is my normal sports bra size. And it was originally $35. So I feel like everything is kind of $10 off, which I'm not mad about. It's the same fabric, but it does feel like it's a double thickness around most places. And it does say that it's a medium support, which I'm a little skeptical because it looks a little soft and spaghetti strap, so I feel like this will be more of a light support, but we'll see. So it's just kind of a basic sports bra. The straps match the fabric, but they do feel like they're more of an elastic material, so it might be a little more comfortable. They do have removable cups, and they also have a long line detail, so this is going to cover more of your like bodice. So, and then they do just have the two straps, but it does come in back into like a little strappy crisscross detail. So let's try it on. All right, so here's the sports bra. So this is a double thickness, so it's giving me a little more support than the leggings. I still would say they rated this a medium support. It's really more of a light support. The straps are not adjustable. They just go into a little crisscross detail in the back. It's really comfy though. It's super, super soft, and it does actually cover my whole boob. I'm not having any spillage. And I do like that it's long line. I've been into long line sports bras. It's kind of like, is it a crop top? Is it a sports bra? She's gonna wear it anyway. And I would say it's true to size. And then again, if anything, I'd size down because this fabric is just really stretchy and very forgiving. Next, we got some bike shorts in one of my favorite colors. Just like, look at this color. You can't be mad at it. So these are the offline OG ribbed bike shorts, and they were only $30. I also got these in a small. I'm usually between a small and medium in shorts, but usually with biker shorts, I can go with a small because the bottom band is like a little farther down, so it doesn't risk squishing my thighs as much. They also have this in a pocket legging form, but these do have pockets, and they have a little ribbed detail on the side. I've really been into biker shorts lately because I'm just over wearing shorts that don't have longer than like a 5 to 6 inch inseam because my thighs just eat them up. And you know, I used to think I hated shorts, but really I just hate shorts. So this is the OG fabric, which is a cotton elastane. So to me, it feels like a little less of a workout material. It does kind of feel like just like a stretchy t-shirt. I'm not in love with it. It's not rough, but it's not brushed or buttery soft like the Realme fabric. It is a slightly washed fabric, so you are gonna have some areas that have like that slight faded detail, which I don't absolutely love. I don't think it's super noticeable on this blue, but some of the other dark colors, it kind of looks like acid wash, and I will never get behind acid wash. They do have a classic waistband, but they do have a seam at the top of the waistband, so I don't know. I was kind of excited about the shorts, but they're not really enticing me yet. We'll see when I try them on. And then they just have a rib detail down the side, but let me show you the fabric. All right, so here's the fabric. As you can see, it's really just like a cotton material, and then they also have a little ribbed detail, so it's really nothing special. All right, so here are the biker shorts. I believe they're like a 7-inch inseam, so I do like the inseam length, and the bottom is really not cutting into my thighs. It's maybe just a teeny bit tight, but it's not actually like creating a little divot or anything. I just feel like these are okay for me. I feel like this is something I could have found at like Walmart, which these weren't expensive. These were like $25 or $30 or something. but I just don't think I would go out of my way for them. The fabric is just kind of like a basic cotton. I wish it wasn't this like washed material because I don't really like, it looks like worn out, which I know is the look, but I just don't really like my activewear to look like it's already been worn. They do have little pockets. I just feel like this fabric is gonna stretch out easily. It just doesn't really feel like an activewear material. It's gonna hold its shape well. And I don't like how it's the band at the top because it doesn't cut in. I just feel like it makes it look a little weird. I don't feel like it's doing much for my glutes. Maybe like a solid medium, like not really helping or anything. They're about a light medium compression. They're really not compressing me very much. I'm really not getting any like tummy control or anything, so that's something that I would have liked to see. I feel like with bike shorts especially, that's usually something people do. The only place I'm really getting compression is like the bottom of my thighs, which like who cares? Because these are more like lounge bikers, which is totally fine. Like that might have been what they're going for, but I'm not gonna spend like $30 on like lounge. But to me, I'm just not impressed enough to get these for lounge shorts. So. They are true to size, I'd say. I would not size up in these because if anything, I feel like I have a little extra space in the waist. So I guess size down if in between. Go with your normal size. Forgot to mention that camel really isn't an issue. I don't really have any extra fabric gathering. And I would say that these probably are not very sweat proof. This doesn't feel like a fabric that's going to wick away sweat at all. And I would say they're maybe cellulite friendly because this fabric is a little bit thicker. So not cellulite proof, but cellulite friendly. And then I got the Offline OG ribbed sports bra, which obviously matches the shorts, and this one was only $13. But I do feel like this is more of like a relaxing bralette. It is a light support, they say, which I definitely agree. It's gonna be a light support. Same OG fabric, so it is very cottony, probably not the most sweat wicking, and the whole thing is ribbed like front and back. And it has like a little shelf in it. And there's no removable cup pads. This one's like kind of disappointing me a little bit. I thought it would be more bra-like, but it's kind of weird. They have like a little built-in shelf in it, but they don't have any cup pads. So I don't know why this support isn't just like built into the bra itself. Like why would they need to create a second layer when the whole thing feels like it could just be a little bralette? I don't get it. And they do have these little elastic straps with an adjustable back. So at least the straps are adjustable. And it has a little ruche detail in the front. I don't expect this one to provide a lot of support or shape, so I feel like I won't like it. I feel like droop in a little bit. All right, so here is the bra that goes with the shorts. And like I thought, there's really like zero support. It kind of reminds me of like a little kid's bra. I don't personally gravitate towards these types of bras. I just feel like without any sort of padding or anything in it, and when it's such a soft material, I just feel like it's not really doing much for the shape of my girls, you know? This whole outfit actually is totally like a lounge outfit. And like, honestly, I love the color and everything, but I'm just like really not won over by the feel, the fabric, the functionality. It's really more of like, oh, I'm just gonna sit at home. And why do I need to wear like a cute little matching set to sit at home? I do like that the straps are adjustable. So if you do like this type of like really lightweight bralette, no padding or anything, I do think it's a totally fine option. And it was literally $15. So you can't go too wrong if you like this style. It's just not my personal style. And I just don't feel like it's the most flattering on me. I would say true to size though. This is a size small, which is my normal size. And I feel like I have enough space and you can always adjust the straps. So I think it's pretty forgiving. The last pair of bottoms, these are the Offline Goals leggings. So they look like the first ones, they're an animal print, except I would say that these are more of a true animal print. Maybe the first ones weren't even meant to be an animal print. I don't know, leave a comment down below. Are the first one's animal print or not? This is definitely animal print. I thought this was going to be the same as the first one, but this is actually a totally different fabric. This is like more of a slick performance material with a little more compression. And they have no front seam, which seems like everyone these days is getting on this no front seam hype, and I am here for it. This is the Goals fabric, and it does say it has the most support, so I will rate it on compression when I try it on. The Goals fabric is a nylon elastane blend, and it's a lot more cool to the touch and a lot more slick performance feel. Oh, they also have a raw cut hem, which I didn't realize, but this is a thick enough, like structured fabric to have the raw cut hem. I wish they would just add a little hem. I think sometimes these look a little cheap, and I'm never really reaching for leggings that have this like intentionally. Usually I'm like, okay, it's fine. But I'm not like, oh, raw cut hem, I'm sold. And they do recommend these for working out, so. Oh, and I did get these in the long version, so we will be able to see how these compare to just like the regular small. So I hope you can see the fabric, but it is more of a slick performance material and a little, not really shiny, but it's not brushed or buttery soft like the last ones. All right, so here are the Goals leggings, and these are supposed to be their more performance material, high compression. And I would definitely give these a high compression. I do feel very held in, very compressed, but I still do feel like it has a lot of stretch, which I always like when high compression leggings aren't just stiff, they actually have stretch to them. And I would say that these do a very good job of that. So if you're looking for a legging to really hold you in, I do like these. I feel like the waist holds me in a little bit, and I just feel like I have a lot of good hold. They called it booty support. I feel like it's a little tight on my butt. Like it could have given me a little more space there. I prefer to have more like compression like in the legs, not squish the butt down, you know? So these maybe just get like a medium on the booty scale. I don't really think they're doing a whole lot of enhancement. I'm having a hard time thinking of a fabric that this is exactly alike, but it's kind of similar to those new tier leggings if you've tried those, if you're not new to my channel. It's just overall a compressive fabric with a sleek performance material. Definitely very sweat wicking. I feel like they won't show a lot of sweat. Seamless waistband and no front seams. Any camel, which I do appreciate. We love to see that. So I got a size small, and I definitely recommend staying true to size. I think if you're in between, I might size up because they are pretty compressive. I'm not sure how much bigger I could be to fit into these smalls. And I did get the tall version for these, and it does go all the way down to my ankles. So if you're on the tall side, I have my inseam in the description below if you're curious. The pattern is really cute. I'm a fan of this one. And I liked this gray color. I feel like some of their colors are a little weird for the patterns. Like I don't want like a purple leopard print, you know? this is nice. For cellulite, I'd actually say they're pretty cellulite friendly. Maybe even, I don't want to say cellulite proof, but I do feel like they are decently thick and have a lot of hold to them. So I would say that these would be much better than the Realme leggings in terms of like cellulite and support. So yeah, I think these are great leggings. I think I still preferred those first leggings overall just because I love how buttery soft they felt, and I felt like those were the most flattering on me. So I like these, but I personally prefer the Realme fabric, at least in the pattern. I also got the Offline Goals wrap back sports bra, which is meant to match the leggings. And I thought this was cute because the front is just gray, so it matches like the spots of the leggings. And then the back actually has the same animal print, but in like this like clear mesh. It's weirdly animal print mesh on the inside of the bra, which I don't really know since it's not advertised as reversible. So I don't know why you would bother doing that. But you still just get a touch of animal print. So if you don't want to wear like a full-on animal print outfit, I think this is really cute. This one they rated as a medium support. They have adjustable back straps, they have a little mesh in the back, seems really breathable, and the front is just like a little V detail. And this isn't my favorite thing on sports bras, but maybe it'll add to the support. They just kind of have one of those like thick elastic bands along the bottom. So yeah, these aren't my favorite because sometimes I feel like they're a little uncomfortable and they don't just like flow seamlessly with the bra. So we'll see how I like that. And this one also has removable cup pads. All right, so here's the sports bra. And I don't know why I got so many spaghetti strap sports bras. I felt like all of the cuter ones were like at the top of the page that like actually had matching sets, had spaghetti straps. And I just looked on their website and they did have ones that looked like they'd be a little more support, but I'm not sure I saw any bras that really said like high support. That's something I like to see out of brands that preach inclusivity. Like really make sure you're making bras that are actually gonna fit everyone, because I personally don't love spaghetti strap sports bras, and I know when I used to be a cup size bigger, I wouldn't even dream of wearing a spaghetti strap. So anyways, I do like this bra. I like the material. I feel pretty compressed. I feel held in. In all of the bras so far, I haven't had any spillage, so I feel like they all fit pretty well. I like the slight little V detail, no side boob. I'm wearing a size small, which is my normal size, and I feel like it fits. Like the band feels pretty good. If I got a size bigger, the band might be loose, but it doesn't have a whole lot of like boob space. Like I feel like the band is coming up onto my actual bust, which is something that I don't really love. So this one isn't really like my favorite. It does have the adjustable straps, which is nice. And I really like how the little back detail just kind of subtly matches the leggings because it's a little mesh, and it's very breathable as well, which I think is nice. So I love that little crisscross detail, and it's mesh. So I think this design is really cute, probably more for smaller cup sizes. They said it was a medium support, and I would still go with a light support for these. But yeah, I think this outfit is cute, especially since people don't always want to wear like a full leopard print, you know? You got a little one and two, little one too. And lastly, I did get a full-length tank top. This is the Offline Realme tank, and this one was $39. So this one wasn't on sale, weirdly enough. More expensive than the leggings for a tank, kind of weird. I got this in a size small. It's the same Realme fabric, which the more I feel this fabric, the more I really like it. It's so buttery, it's so soft and stretchy. It's just like feels like a really good workout fabric. It's gonna last, but also be really soft. So it just has these two little spaghetti straps that come into like a little V in the back, kind of like that Lululemon like Y sports bra, but it also has a little shelf liner with removable cup pads. So it will be kind of like a built-in bra, and it looks like a full-length tank. So let's try it on. All right, so here's the Realme tank, and I love this fabric. I think it's super, super buttery soft. Definitely a very comfortable athletic tank. So I'm a big fan of the style in general. I feel like these don't have a lot of like space in here for actual like boobs. Like I'm really pushing it to fit in here, and it's a little bit uncomfortable. So I feel like max C or D cup if you're gonna wear this, which I don't think it said that on the website. I don't think it was saying like, oh, like, you know, usually it'll say like light support for like B to C cup, but this one did not say that. So it's soft. I feel like I just have like a little bit of spillage, and it's just overall not really supporting me very well, but it's comfortable. I feel like the straps are okay. They might dig into my neck a little bit, but they're pretty lightweight. The little back detail is cute, and it's definitely a full length tank. So you're definitely gonna be covered up in this. So definitely recommend for smaller cup sizes. I would go true to size, but maybe if you're trying to push it with a cup size, maybe size up. I could probably do with a medium in this. Alright guys, so that is it for the review. Overall, I'd say I'm definitely pretty impressed. I felt like for the prices, and even not for the prices, like these are pretty great leggings. Like the fabrics are really well made. The overall designs are really nice. I especially liked the Realme leggings. And you know, I liked the Goals ones too. I'm just like not always into super compressive leggings, but the Goals leggings, they definitely feel like high quality leggings. People would assume that they're like at least $50. But I think my favorite one had to be the cross waist one. It just really won me over. I love those cross waists. So overall, I definitely recommend Aerie activewear, especially the Realme and the Goals stuff. The OG was just okay. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any more suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. Make sure to subscribe because we have a lot of fun videos coming up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye!